All right, hi there, boys and girls. Today we're going to be drawing a winter picture. We're going to draw a snowman and a nice pine tree in the background. So for our drawing today, you can use whatever you want, pencils or crayons. I'm going to be using a Sharpie so it's easier for you to see. And we're going to be doing some 3D shapes. So let's just go ahead and get started. And we're going to start with our snowman's hat. So our snowman's hat's a cylinder. So I'm going to draw a skinny oval. And that's going to be the top of our snowman's hat. Once you have that oval for the sides, I'm going to draw 2 straight lines down from each edge of the oval. And to close the bottom here, I want to draw a curve, and the curve is actually going to mirror that curve because it's the same shape down here. And that line that I just drew, right now we made a cylinder. For our hat, I'm going to have a band going across it. I'm just copying that same line. Now for the rim of our hat, we're actually going to do another oval like that one. It's just going to be bigger. And it's going to go around the back of the hat. So here you see, real quick, we were able to do a really nice 3-dimensional Santa Claus hat. Now, if I'm ever going too fast for you, you can stop the video or pause it and do what you need to do until you're ready to move on. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the 3 different spheres for his head and his body, and they're all overlapping. So here's the first one for his head. And then we're going to do another one for his body, and you can decide how big or how wide each one of these are. I don't think any 2 snowmen are alike. Maybe yours is actually made out of a couple of these instead of just 3. And let's go ahead and start doing some of the details on our snowman. So for his face, let's start with his nose. Depending which way the nose is going, I could have him looking up or I could have him looking down. I think I'm going to have him kind of looking straight out. I'm going to put this tree over here. So I'm actually going to start with just kind of like a pointy shape for our carrot. But the back of it, I don't want to just put a straight line. I want to curve it so it looks more like a cone, like a carrot would be, so it looks round. And I always put a couple of these little marks on here to make it look like the lines on a carrot. I'm just going to do some black little dots for a mouth. And do the same thing for the eyes, but I'm going to leave a little bit of white glimmering off his eyes. It makes him look a little more alive. Let's draw him a scarf. So for his scarf, I'm just going to draw a curved line starting from this side of his head and going over to this side of his head. And then for the rest of the scarf, like the part that hangs down, I can draw 1 or 2 of these like little rectangles. These little tassels at the end. And later on, if you want to put polka dots or something on here, I'm just going to draw a couple lines to make it look striped. And by doing all these curved lines instead of just doing straight stuff, it makes it look more 3-dimensional. In fact, we're going to put some buttons here on the front of him, and you can see how I'm making them kind of oval, and it makes it look like they're bending around this part of his body. Cool. He needs some arms. So for his arms, I'm just going to do a line on both sides. And you see this one is behind this sphere, and this one's coming out from the side to make it look like there's one on the front and one on the back. And I didn't put any fingers on, you could, but I'm gonna draw gloves or mittens. So I have 2 straight lines. And then on each one, I'm gonna do like a big U shape and a little U shape. Do it again. Big U shape, a little U shape. There, our snowman is done. You could always add more stuff if you want to give them earmuffs or other things like that. That would be fine. Let's go ahead and move over to like this tree that I want to draw over here. Now, I'm going to put some presents under the tree. If you're into Christmas presents, if you're not, you can leave them out. But they're going to be sitting out in the snow. Maybe not the best place to put your Christmas presents. But I have this bumpy line here for the snow. And then I'm just going to draw a couple different squares or rectangles. And you look, we're overlapping again. So these two are overlapping, which means one is in front of the other, just like each one of these spheres was overlapping the one underneath it. This one isn't overlapping, and when we overlap, it makes things a little more interesting. That's one of our principles of design. So let's go ahead and do some more with these presents. Let's put bows on top of them. So I'm just gonna do all 3 at one time. I do a circle, circle, circle on each one. And then each one gets like a little, kind of like a triangle on both sides. Triangle, triangle, triangle. So they're all 3 the same. Later on, if you want to come in here and decorate these with wrapping paper, you can, but I'm just going to keep going because I don't want this video to be too long. Let's do our Christmas tree. So I'm going to kind of see here, this is, I want the middle of the tree here. My tree is going to be going off the paper. It's getting cropped off because it makes it a little more interesting. But I'm going to start here with kind of a point. It's like the top of a triangle. And to go across the bottom of it, going to do like a bumpy line. And then I'm going to kind of do it again. So I have a line coming out. Both of these are an angle, and they're both going away from the middle of the tree. Then I do another bumpy line. I'm not worried about being perfect because it's a tree. So it's going to be different the whole way across. And we can do it again. And already you can see my tree is going off the paper. Again. And here I didn't even have to draw that side because it's already off the paper. And I think I'm just going to do it one more time and it's going to disappear behind these presents. Cool. Now the last thing, or one of the last things I'm going to do, because right now it just looks like these 2 objects are floating around on this blank piece of paper. I'm gonna put my horizon line in, and I'm gonna have it kind of be on like a hill or something like that. So it's a little bit curved, but the horizon line is what separates the ground from the sky. So since we're talking about the sky, we can go ahead in and do some snowflakes. And for my snowflakes, I'm just doing real simple little circles. If you want, you can do the snowflakes that are more like a X and another X. Sometimes I make those even more fancy by adding little circles on those. But it's up to you. So see, I did X's and circles on some of them. And I'm just gonna keep drawing and keep adding stuff. I might even speed this up a little bit. But this is where you can make this drawing your own. You can add different presents, you can add your wrapping paper, you can decorate the tree, but that's all up to you. So I'm gonna stop the video for a second and speed it up so you can see me drawing. Okay guys and girls. I went through and I added a bunch of details. I did some different decorations on the trees and a star on the top. I did kind of this detail along the edge here, which could either be garland or it could be snow that's landed on the tree. I did my wrapping paper. I added a little bird there sitting on his mitten. So you can go ahead and add whatever you want to add to your drawing and color it and make it look beautiful. And I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you all have a really nice holiday. And we'll see you all in the new year. Okay, take care, everybody.